Hi everyone, it's Karen and I'm back with a design team project for AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy, and I wanted to create some bookmarks because I like to include them with the journals I make, and also I think they make a really nice gift to give to people. I'm still in an age group where many of the people I know still read and enjoy paper books, and so that's what I did. So I layered these up by using cardstock for the backing, and then I did napkins on top. Then I sewed on the edge, and then I layered it with laces and trims, and then I finished it off by creating a bead. I was inspired by one of our own designers, Miss Roseanne, and she was making these beads a few weeks ago, and I just remembered how much I love making them. So I got out some things and I made some of my own, and I added these on with a bulb pin, and Kim has bulb pins in her shop as well. This one actually is with a straight pin. I see a pink straight pin, and I just dangled that off of there. And of course, these are beautiful trims from Kim's shop, and each one is different. I love the uniqueness of making each one like a little piece of art. So I don't do mass making. I just love creating each one. I did use, I think, one of the napkins or two of the napkins a couple of times, but then I decorated them very differently. And Kim's shop, of course, is on Etsy, and if you click on the link in the description box below, you can go directly there to do your shopping. And also I will leave links to all of the talented designers who are creating beautiful projects with beautiful items from her shop, including the trims and laces and charms and bling pieces and the lovely fabric she's carrying now. It's just so much to look at and to choose from, and I know that you'll have fun shopping there, and you'll have fun seeing what the other designers are making. Be sure to go down and click on those links below and check out all of that. This is the first one, and I think that it turned out really cute. I love the napkin paper in the background with the hummingbirds on it. Of course, I love hummingbirds, and I did a little dangle with a little charm on this one. This is just one from my stash. I do have, I think, some charms left from Kim's shop, but not that many. I'm due to get a refill on some charms and bling. This is just a little button I added on there, and I just use a scrap of fabric and fray it out to begin with, and then add on the embellishments. Here's a little purple one. Again, we started with this napkin underneath, and I just apply my napkins with glue stick and give a good coating of glue stick on there, apply the napkin, and then I sewed around all of the edges. Then I added this gorgeous piece of Kim's, one of her laces, the white piece. I added some blings of my own. She does have bows in the shop as well. This one happens to be from my own stash, and a couple of butterflies from my stash. It's wonderful because you can take some trims or laces from Kim's store and add them to your own craft supplies, and you can make beautiful things. So you can go in and shop and buy yourself just a few items and then add them to what you already have, and you're going to come up with some beautiful items. This piece of fabric really frayed out beautifully, and so I left all the fray pieces. I just love how that turned out. I sewed some little purple seed beads on there. I put a little dangle at the bottom with some seed beads as well, and a pearly bead at the top and some bead caps. And that one is on a bulb pin. This one turned out super cute. It's a napkin with the kitty cat on it, and there's a little bee up there that the kitty cat's looking at. There's a couple of different trims on here from Kim's shop. This is one, and then this is another one underneath here with the scroll and the sequins on it, and then this is a floral piece from one of her other trims. And this is wonderful when you do these kinds of little pieces. They're very functional, they're lovely to receive as a gift, but they use up all sorts of little pieces of scraps that you have. And then this one, again, bulb pin attaching this gorgeous dangle piece that I have created, which is again a bead. So the bead is underneath all of that. Then I covered it with some fibers, blue fibers that I had. This is some of Kim's dangle trim off of one of her trims. I used that in the tassel part of it as well. And then a bead and bead cap at the top. Underneath here is the white fabric. You can see a bit of it sticking out here. but I just covered it with lots of different pieces and a collar of little seed beads. And then I put on one of my own little bead charms there because I just thought that looked so cute with that particular napkin. Here are a couple done in pinks. These are two different napkins. This one is sort of the rosy colors. This one's more of cherry blossoms. This has the gorgeous pink applique that Kim sent me, and I've cut that in pieces on this one. And on this one, I've put a piece of her dangle trim on here, and then added a little collage down in the corner as well with one of her rolled roses, a little piece of a flower off another trim, and a little bit of the pink leaves that she sent. And then again, just a little dangle piece on there on a gold ball pin. And they're just so pretty. They fit nicely in your journal or a book, and this can dangle out the top, of course, so it marks your page. And this one, the bead I created, again, I used some of the dangle trim from Kim's shop. This is one of my favorite dangle trims, of course, and some other little pieces. And in the middle of the dangle trim, I added a little piece of chain and a little bead. I like them to look really, really pretty, so I add lots of, this one's got little seed beads on there and some little trim pieces too. Here's another pink one. This one, I just love how this one turned out. This one is the gorgeous pink leaf trim down the side here, and then a collection of flowers that are from different laces that I've had. The flower off of one of her trims, and then this is one of her gorgeous cabochons. I hope you can see that. It has a red poppy and a red dress form in the back, or a dress form in the back with a red dress on it. And then I added these little red and black butterflies from my own stash. I just love the pink and the red together. I just think with the white, it looks so nice. The background on this one is a napkin as well with some text on it, and again sewn around the edges. You don't have to sew them. I just happen to like the continued layering effect, and on this side, of course, you can see the stitching really well. And then the bead on this one, or this one, I didn't do a bead on it, I did a tassel, and it's just all the pieces. I wanted to show you that if you don't make the beads and you aren't familiar with making them, you can just take the gorgeous lace that she has in her shop, and you can make this gorgeous tassel piece that can also hang off, and it's on a bulb pin as well. So different options, just in case you're not, you don't have the supplies to make the beads. This one is a gorgeous napkin. I just love the colors in this. And I then added the trim, the same trim that I made this dangle piece out of. It's so versatile. I used it to trim down the whole side of this one and adding little pieces going in other directions. This is a little wooden butterfly that she at one time carried in her shop, and I still have a few, and I just love the green and the blue in that. It matched on here so pretty. More of a tone on tone rather than a real standout piece, but I loved it. And these are extra flowers from some of her trims. And then this one, again, a little bit of the dangle trim, a little bit of eyelash trim in there, lots of flowers and pieces stitched onto there, a little butterfly in the sort of blues and purples, a pretty crystally bead, a ring of the little blings pieces, and a pretty bead cap. This pretty pink one, again, this napkin in the pinks and blues, beautiful for the background, stitched around. You can see the stitching there. And then that beautiful leaf trim, and then some of the bridal trim. And then I just added a few of my flat back pearls on that one. I kept that one really simple, but it's so pretty. And then this one has a long, slender bead on it. Again, just the cotton that's been frayed out. Then we did a couple of crystally beads at the top, a wrap of some little light pink seed beads, and then some of her fabric that has the hearts on it. I still have tiny little bits of it, and whenever I get a small project like this, I just love adding them. I love the fabrics that Kim has started carrying in the shop. They're just so nice and so versatile. And then this one has a little butterfly, crystal butterfly dangling off the bottom of that. Two more to show you. This one done in lilacs and blue colors. Again, this is a napkin, and then the stitching, layering of this gorgeous blue trim down the side. This trim Kim has in the shop in the blue and in an off-white color, I believe, if she still has any left. Cut a little piece, extra piece to put in the corner here. Added a little bit of my own purpley trim in here. And then added this lovely bead on here that has got like the little sort of disco ball at the top, bead cap, and then some seed beads done in the blues and the purples, a pretty little heart hanging on the bottom, and some little flowers that are cut off of one of Kim's laces, and those I've stitched on with a little bead in the center. And the last one is one of the hummingbird ones again. This is another part of the napkin, so it looks a little bit different than the first one that I showed you. When I applied the napkin, I had it so that I had the hummingbirds positioned, and then I positioned the laces so that we don't cover them up. So I have this scrolly bit. This is all from one of Kim's laces in her shop. One of the ones that's more like almost like a fabric type lace. It has lots of different things on it, but this is part of it. And I just used part on the bottom here, and then I cut a piece to swirl up this way and around this way. Added the little flowers that are also on that same lace. Added these goldy colored leaves that she's had in the shop. Love the leaf trims she carries. They're so pretty. And then added in a few little acrylic butterflies from my stash. And then this one, the bead, is a shorter one, and it has some acrylic flowers and some French knots on it, and a little crystal bead dangling off the end, and a pretty bead heart at the top. They're just so much fun to make because you can just pull out what you have and just have fun with it. There's no right or wrong way to make them. And if you're interested in seeing how I make them, you can put in a request and I can show you. And I also would recommend you pop over to Roseanne's channel. She is one of the designers, and she is linked in the description box below, and she shows you how she makes hers. We do them a little bit differently, but in the end, there's no right or wrong. There's just, you know, it's fun, and you wrap the fabric around. I use a paintbrush, a thin paintbrush handle, and then I put the wire through and then start, you know, doing the stitching on it, and then put the dangles on and the top on. So they're fun. They're fun. I hope that you enjoyed seeing the little bookmarks I've made, and I hope you'll pop over to the store and buy some goodies for yourself and do some crafting and just enjoy yourself and have some fun. And I will be back in a week or so with another project for AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. Mind if you give me a thumbs up, and also if you would subscribe and to put on the notification bell, that would be great as well if you haven't done so already. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Bye for now.